Are you a Jiu-Jitsu school owner and you're having a hard time building your kids program? You see that the retention is not there and they're quitting right away. I'm gonna show you 3 mistakes that I did. I'm gonna show you the fix for it. Wait all the way to the end so you can join our private group. My name is Hernando. I'm a Jiu-Jitsu black belt. I'm here out of Post Falls, Idaho. I've been teaching classes since 2012. Mistake number 1 that I did is I would teach kids like they're adults. They're not adults. They're kids. So we teach kids as little as 3 years old. We go all the way to about 12, 13. And then when they're about 13 years old, depending on how they perform, we move them to the adult classes. Long story short, if you got a 4-year-old, you got their attention for only about 4 minutes, right? That's it, right? So if we go too much into the detail on the why and then the counters, you lost them. Especially we live in a day and age when they're on their iPads and they're having like corn syrup on their food and GMOs. Like, we have to compete with that now. So make it very fun. Kids do not do well with fear of like authority, right? They do really well when you become their friend and you ask them about their day, ask them about their struggles, ask them what kind of toys they play with, what kind of games they like to play with. Become their friend, so when it's time to make that withdrawal or that correction, they're gonna be like, buddy, why'd you do that, right? And they're gonna feel it more versus this fear. And if they're too fear-based, like drill sergeant, they're not gonna wanna come to class. Instead, they wanna hang out with their friends, they wanna hang out with us. So don't teach them like they're adults. Teach them like they're kids. Go back when you were a kid. Did you do well when your parents were disciplining you or like a drill sergeant with like other teachers? No, when they were like your homie, those were the ones that really remember. I had a 2nd grade teacher, and I remember the 2nd grade teacher because this person made me feel special, like we were friends, right? So teach them like they're kids, not adults. Mistake number 2, no curriculum. This is a bad mistake. Make sure you have a curriculum. Make sure you know what you're teaching ahead of time. We teach 32 techniques over and over and over again. To some people, you might think that's boring. Remember, they're kids. They won't remember. So you got to get them drilling, get them very active. Doing the same move over and over again and scrambling in through and creating a flow is going to be everything. There's no need to teach them ashigarami. There's no reason to teach them leg locks. All they need to know is basic self-defense. If someone grabs you in a headlock, what are you gonna do? A basic armbar, a basic Americana. That's pretty much it. A double leg, right? They don't need uchimatas. They don't need any of that. That starts to become a huge liability and safety. A basic double leg, a headlock escape, a standing arm bar. These are things that they're gonna relate with in the schools. The bully epidemic is huge. So we want the kids to be able to relate it. Not all kids wanna compete. That's a very small percentage. So if we frame the class as a tournament setting and points, you're gonna lose them. And you're gonna force kids to wanna compete that are maybe don't wanna compete. We don't really teach kids to compete anymore. What we do is we focus on real life scenarios. I can tell you from my personal experience when we used to go to tournaments and all that, if we took 10 kids, 2 would quit every single time. And that just showed there's a broken system. We either forced the kid to compete, maybe they didn't want to compete, or the parents were too hard on them. Maybe the training was too hard for them. So make sure you have a curriculum ahead of time. Don't pull up to the parking lot and find out, what am I going to teach that day? You should already know what you're teaching that day. I do. My instructors already know what they're going to teach that day. It takes away all the anxiety, and you don't have to change the class because you have a brand new student. So keep it very basic so that everyone can do it. And then just enough where the advanced kids can add variations and add more feedback and a little bit more resistance. If you want to know about the curriculum that we use, it's under Henry and Hidon Gracie under the Certified Training Program. The link is below, and you can get more information on that. Mistake number 3 is I focused too much on the adults. At the time, I was competing, so I wanted some badass people. I wanted to be known as the elite gym, that we would go and compete, and that's where I failed. Instead, we need to focus on kids martial arts, the longevity of the program. So if you're wondering how you're going to get adult leads, it all starts with your kids program. That's how I started. Back in 2006, I was doing Muay Thai for about a year. And then what happened was a Jiu-Jitsu gym opened up. It was like more of an MMA gym. And back in Santa Clarita, big John McCarthy gym in Santa Clarita, mega gym. And what happened was I wanted to learn Jiu-Jitsu, but I was afraid. And on top of that, they were wearing gis. So I was kind of like, what's going on? What's up with this, right? I don't want to learn karate, right? And I'm a Jiu-Jitsu black belt now and I love the gi, right? So guess what I did? I put my daughter in first. She was 6. I put her in first. And they would do Jiu-Jitsu in the cage. And it was so much fun to look at that it made me want to do it. So guess what? Now I'm here. That's the same way we get our adults too. While we're teaching a phenomenal kids class, during breaks, before or after class, I talk to the parents. Hey, why don't you start training Jiu-Jitsu? Let's get you in. Let's get you into free class. A lot of times I hook them up and like, hey man, I'll take care of you. Guess what? I'm teaching the next class. I would love for you to stay. So that's how we get our adults too. Jiu-Jitsu is very competitive now. There's so many schools out there. And what we found is parents are going to pay for their kids no matter what, whether it be soccer, baseball, hockey. And the parents tend to be on the back burner. They're very selfless. And when things get really tight, they're going to tighten up their finances. But guess what they're going to continue to pay for is their kids' classes. They're going to keep paying for them because it's a necessity, right? We teach them character development. We're changing their lives. We're teaching them discipline and structure. So as long as you're teaching a phenomenal kids class, you're going to be able to also, if you have a kid around 4 or 5 years old, the lifetime value of that child is about 5 years. So it's very important that you focus on the kids because your kids will become teenagers, then they'll become adults. And by the time they get to adults, like the Rotolo brothers, they're gonna be animals at 18 and 19 years old. So invest in your kids program, invest in your kids, mentor them because they will stay longer. And in return, if you do a really good job, you're gonna be able to attract the adults, attract the moms. Focus on your kids. Long lifetime value. It would pay off dividends, not only financially for you, but spiritually as well too. If you're loving this content, make sure you join our free Jiu-Jitsu Gym Owners School community. It's completely free with other Jiu-Jitsu instructors and school owners, and we collaborate. I share my tips and tricks on how to get to the next level. If you're wondering how my wife and I are able to make 6 figures just teaching Jiu-Jitsu, we don't have a second job. Make sure you click the link right here and we go into detail how we went from 0 to 300 students and how we're able to take home 6 figures, okay? Check it out.